Hi again, welcome back. I am on the last finishing set of this first Project Life spread, so I'm doing all of the cards as basically different videos, and this is the last one for this particular week that makes a double page spread. So we're going to show you what I do last and then show you how all those cards fit together to make the whole thing. Right, so if you wanted to see anything so far, please go ahead and go back to the earlier videos so it all makes sense. And then the last thing I do is that I have 4 pockets on each double page spread that are just 4x6 prints with a white border. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I normally use just one single one. This is a little bit of an oddity in that I wanted the picture of now and generation back side by side, but I did the image as one print rather than put them both as individual pictures and cut them out and put them on another piece of paper. So normally they're a full image like this. This one's also a little bit odd in that normally they are pictures of Wonder Boy or at least of the family or something, and this one is the roof at the British Museum. And instead I wanted to include this lovely bit of sky, partially because the photos I took that particular week didn't lend themselves well to 4x6 landscape prints. So that's all. Anyway, I have those 4, and each of them gets a piece of paper with a label sticker or label stamp cut out and then placed on top like this. So this is the stamp that I use, and it's an older Amy Tangerine label. And I take the scraps of paper from the things I've made on that particular spread, which is why I do this last. And then I take that stamp, and that way I can have all of it coordinate, but I still have some continuity throughout the whole album, because I didn't want to pick one core kit or one set of anything and say I'm going to use this for the whole year. Basically because I want more variety than that. I know that if I went with one kit for the whole year, I wouldn't stick to it. I would just get bored of it and stop, and yeah, it wouldn't work well. I need the variety to keep me interested in the project, and so having one thing per week, that works. So the stamp is something that I can have to have it all fit together nicely. And so then I cut out each of these little stamped images, just roughly, and adding a tiny little edge. And some weeks I do them black, and some weeks I do them brown, and a few weeks I think I've even done gray. And when I started, I thought maybe I would do all the labels in white, but then after a few weeks I realized, no, I like the color. So as much as I look at other people's pages with lots and lots of white and I think, oh, it's so beautiful, I have to stay true to what I actually enjoy on my own pages. And I keep trying the white, and it's not me. I love looking at it. I love it, love it, love it. But I can't do it and do it well. I like the color. So there we go. I'm sticking with the color. Once I've cut them out and inked the edges, I just choose which label is going to go on which photo, and I try to find the best spot for it to go, and they're all going to go off the edge. So in some cases I might place them almost all the way onto the photo like this one, but this I don't want to cover up so much, so I'll use just a tiny bit like that. And then on each of them, each of these 3, I use this big Pebbles stamp where it has all the different letters and numbers, and you can rotate and spell out whatever word you want, and I just have a word or a phrase and I stamp it several times on the label. And then on this one, which will be the top leftmost card in the whole spread, I do the number of weeks he was old, so this is 12 weeks, and the date from the start to the end of the week. And I do that with a date stamp. And I do all of it in whatever color ink I've used on the outline, so this one will be in brown. So I just spell everything out and stamp it and do the date. These each have words stamped on top, and then this one needs the date, and so I've got my dates on my date stamp, just making sure I had the right day. I'll do those in brown ink as well, and then change it around for the start date, and then I'll add the week number as well. And I have all that gold across this particular layout as an accent, so I thought I would bring in the gold thickers. That's the gold Fitzgerald thickers. And then my last little touch is to figure out if there's something I want to add to all 4 of these. So sometimes that's the same type of enamel shape and I add it to all 4, or a wood veneer piece to all 4, or a punched piece to all 4. And again, it's something that if I use punches or die cuts, then I can use the supplies that I've already been using and just add them in a little bit more. This time I'm going to go with a heart punch and a gold sequin on each one, and I've just punched these from the scraps that I have sitting here on the desk. And I'm just going to add one to each label. I try to have them so they kind of overlap an edge somewhere along the line, so that it helps connect the label shape to the photograph. And then I'll overlap the sequin on top of that. So that I have these little, just tiny little embellishments. It doesn't take much time at all to do all 4 at once. It makes them all match. Okay, so that's everything that's going to go on this 2-page spread finished. So I'm going to pop everything in the pockets and show you how it looks when it's all done. So here's everything all finished, and you can see the same 4 spots in every single week get that full 4x6, and then everything else gets the little cards that I've put together over the last few videos. And I really like how those labels and the larger photos give it some continuity, but all the small pieces give me what I enjoy of the process, that little bit of making tiny little layouts and all the embellishment, all the color and all the pattern, because that really makes it enjoyable for me. So that's the whole thing, and here's a little look at the details. Thank you so much for joining me for this first little week of me putting this together and seeing what would happen if I really push myself to create something every day. I hope you've enjoyed. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope to see you soon.